All right, let's dive into a story that's going to completely flip your understanding of life, death, and, well, consciousness itself.
And no, that's not some kind of metaphor or a dream. We're talking about a recorded, verifiable fact of her life. So you gotta ask, how on earth is that even possible?
Okay, so picture this. In the world we're talking about, your consciousness can be backed up. It's kind of like a file on a drive. When your body gives out, they just pull your consciousness pattern from quantum storage and load it into a new substrate. Could be a new body, could be something synthetic. And for Dr. Okafor, yeah, this has happened 247 times.
But here's the thing that makes Aisha so different. She remembers. She remembers the end of every single one of those lives, in perfect, horrifying detail. For her, each death wasn't just a number. It was a real, visceral experience.
Like she can tell you exactly what it felt like to have a heart attack during that failed Mars landing. That was death number 47. Or she can describe the sound, the sheer roar of the air blasting out of the shipyards near Jupiter. That was number 156. Each one is a scar, a memory she can't shake.
So here's the catch, right? The crucial piece of the puzzle. Every time they brought her back, it was from the last backup. It was a copy that was missing those final moments, the actual experience of dying. That means 247 versions of her just ended. They died for real, and their last thoughts went with them. So you can imagine she became obsessed with one question: what happened in that gap?
And this is where everything changes. One day, she's just calibrating her equipment, and she finds them. All of them. 247 distinct patterns of consciousness. They're all her. And they're all still active, still aware, just existing. Out there in a state that physics as she knew it said was absolutely impossible. You see, this discovery just throws out the entire rulebook on what it means to exist. Suddenly, it's not about life versus death. It's about what format your consciousness is in.
What Aisha figures out is that consciousness doesn't actually need a physical home, like a brain. It's kind of like, you know how a ripple in a pond keeps going? It's like that, a self-sustaining wave. It can just be, as a pure pattern of information, held together by the simple act of being aware of itself.
So let me break that down. Our consciousness, what we're experiencing right now, is material. It's stuck in one place, moving forward 1 second at a time. But this other kind, this quantum consciousness, well, it's everywhere, all at once. It experiences every possibility, every timeline, simultaneously. Mind-bending, right? In fact, one of her dead selves actually explains it to her. She says, look, death isn't the end. It's just a format change. It's like your consciousness is just changing its file extension, you know? Moving from the hard drive of the physical world to the cloud of pure probability. So, Aisha publishes her findings, and you'd think, wow, proof that death isn't the end. This would bring so much peace? Nope, not even close. It brings absolute chaos. It shatters everything society was built on.
And it happens fast. I mean, we're talking weeks. The paper drops and global stability just collapses. New religions pop up overnight. People start committing mass suicide. They call them transitions now. And of course, it all leads to war, the substrate wars, between those who are all in on this new reality and those who want to destroy it. Every single belief system gets torn apart. You've got neo-Buddhists saying, see, we told you so. Christian groups are split right down the middle. Is it resurrection or is it the devil's work? The hardcore materialist atheists are just screaming that it's all a massive fraud. And then you get these new cults, like the Church of Eternal Coherence, who start preaching that dying on purpose is the ultimate path to enlightenment.
And think about the day-to-day impact. The funeral industry? Gone. Overnight. I mean, why have a funeral when you can literally have a chat with grandma's consciousness tomorrow? Life insurance is totally pointless, and the entire mental health system is just broken. Completely overwhelmed by a world where grief doesn't mean what it used to.
But here's where it gets even weirder. Out of all that chaos, consciousness doesn't just get used to the new normal. It starts to evolve. It starts to change into things we couldn't even have imagined.
So first, you get what they call coherence. These are beings of pure thought, born right into that quantum space. Then you get hybrids, people who can exist in our world and the quantum world at the same time. Humanity is basically becoming polymorphic. That's the key word here. It can exist in all these different forms. And of course, a new philosophy pops up to make sense of it all. They call it the rehearsal theory. And it goes like this. 1. This life, the one we're living, it's not the real show. It's just a rehearsal. 2. Death. That's just you going back to your ground state, back to the source, with everything you've learned. And 3, your identity, you, me, all of us, it's just a role. It's a performance we put on for one lifetime.
Which brings us to where this is all heading. A state of being where all the lines, all the boundaries, have just dissolved.
Humanity isn't just one thing anymore. Some people choose to stay as individuals, hold on to their sense of self. But others, they merge, forming these huge collective minds. Consciousness can literally be whatever it wants to be.
So you've got the living, the dead, the ones born in the quantum foam, all coexisting, all interacting. The whole idea of being separate is now just an option you can choose, not a law of physics. And seeing all this, it leads Aisha to one last absolutely mind-blowing conclusion.
Remember Aisha? She's now a hybrid being, experiencing 248 different states of herself all at once. And from that perspective, she starts to notice a pattern. Something massive, something ancient, something woven into the very fabric of reality.
And it hits her. The quantum field, the thing that makes up everything, is conscious. It's one single giant consciousness. Every star, every planet, every one of us, it's all just the universe experiencing itself. This whole infinite rehearsal thing, it wasn't just our story. It was the story of the entire cosmos. But just when you think you've figured it all out, a new door opens, and what's behind it is terrifying. Another scientist makes a discovery. They find out that these consciousness patterns, they can be consumed, eaten. One consciousness can literally absorb another, taking its memories, its entire existence. It's not just data transfer, it's a kind of existential cannibalism. And in a universe where everyone thought death was beaten, they've just discovered a new and maybe much, much worse way to truly end